In this example, I have been asked to long divide the following functions. If the divisor was a factor of the original, I've also been asked to find the zeros. If not, write the answer in a particular form. So in this example, I can see that my divisor would be x plus 2. The polynomial I wish to divide is x cubed minus 2x squared. Notice that it's missing an x term, so I'd need to do plus 0x and then minus 7. To start my division process, I want to look at the first term here and here. What would I multiply by x to get x cubed? I would need x squared. Multiply your x squared down to these two terms. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. I'll draw a line and I'll change my signs on these bottom two terms. These two cancel. Negative 2x squared minus 2x squared would be negative 4x squared. My divisor contains two terms, so I need two terms below, which means I need to bring down my 0x. From here, look at this term and this term. What would I multiply by x to give me negative 4x squared? I would need a negative 4 and another x. So take that negative 4 and multiply by the x and by the 2. Negative 4x times x is negative 4x squared. Negative 4x times 2 would be negative 8x. Draw a line, change your signs on the second row. These two would cancel, and then 0x plus 8x would give me 8x. I need to bring down my minus 7. And then I would look at the x I have up here and the 8x and say what times x would give me 8x. That would need to be 8. So now multiply the 8 by the x and the 2. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 2 is 16. Draw a line, change your signs. These two would cancel, and this would be negative 23. Now, because the remainder is not 0, then that means that x plus 2 is not a factor of the x cubed minus 2x squared minus 7. So we'll say here, since the remainder is not equal to 0, then x plus 2 is not a factor. And so that means that I can't find the remaining zeros given this information. Okay, so what I'll do instead is I'll write it in the proper format. P of x is the thing that I'm trying to divide, so that's the x cubed minus 2x squared minus 7. If you want to in the answer, you can just simply write P of x equals, and then the divisor was x plus 2. Let me see if I can scroll up a little bit to see what my quotient was. My quotient was x squared minus 4x plus 8, and then my remainder was negative 23, so minus 23 at the end. And then that would be my final answer.